Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon babies, rising as well as Venus. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your new moon in Gemini message. It is a collective general reading. So as the messages come through today, just take what fits and leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it's meant for someone else to hear. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, rising as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. With all of that said now, let's begin. In the background, if you're not familiar with him, that's my old man, Sammy, my 14-year-old old man. He got a new catnip toy today. I think it's called Yeow, something like that. I think instead of meow, it's called Yeow. Anyway, he's going to town with it, and it's hard to part him from it. So apologize if he's a bit of a distraction there. So let's tap into the Scorpio collective now, Sun, Moon, rising, as well as Venus placements. Let's begin with an oracle card here, please, for the Scorpio collective for their new moon in Gemini message. Let's get one more shuffle here for you. Thank you. We have Magic, card number 3. Some of you could be a life path 3 number. And then we have Nature Spirits, card number 39. 9 reduces to 3, so maybe 333 or 3333. Could be a number that is specific or means something specific here for someone watching. I would also look up those angel numbers, 333 as well as 3333. Okay, let's get a Moonology card here, please, for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, rising, as well as Venus placements. Magic, some of you could have Virgo or Gemini energy as well, like in your chart. You don't have to. It could be extra confirmation, and some of you could have some Earth placements as well with that Nature Spirits card. Let's get a Moonology card here, please, for the Scorpio collective. Thank you. You are good enough, full moon in Virgo. I was just saying, some of you may have some Earth placements there, right? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So you have, you are good enough, full moon in Virgo. And then you have, it's time to take action, new moon in Aries. Okay. Tell me more about this message here, please, for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, rising, as well as Venus placements. Why is this their new moon in Gemini message? Magic, and you are good enough, full moon in Virgo. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Star, we have the 9 of Cups, and we have the Knight of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Cups. Wow. What tower did you just experience that you're healing from in that Star card energy? Because what precedes the Star is the Tower. Okay. Tell me more about the Star card. Tell me more about the Star card here. When I have the Star and the 9 of Cups come out like back to back or something like that, side by side, I usually see it as like wish fulfillment. So 2 separate messages here. One, you are healing from something that you have gone through. But in addition to that, there's wish fulfillment, something that you're manifesting, possibly coming in for you, or something that you need to take action and start working on so it can come in for you. The Star is clarified by the 9 of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and Temperance. Bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups. Let me get a little bit more on this. Clarify the 9 of Cups here. Clarify the 9 of Cups here. I feel like you're healing a self-value or like self-worth wound. One more shuffle. Thank you. So maybe the Tower moment that you experienced triggered some type of, I need to work on my self-esteem, or I need to work on my self-worth, or I need to work on my self-value, because that appears to be what's balancing out here. So the 9 of Cups here is clarified by the 7 of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we have the 2 of Swords. Okay, let me get to this message in a second. So what's coming to me here is whatever the Tower moment was for you, whether it was in regards to a situation, environment, connection, or experience you had, it was meant to trigger for you something here. And that 9 of Pentacles, it's one of my favorite cards. Not to make your reading about me, but when I was going through the separation and then the divorce, I thought if I could become any tarot card in the deck, most people would say, I want to become the Emperor, Empress. And I was like, no, I want to become the 9 of Pentacles. The 9s are very individual numbers. This is someone who, they're good on their own. They don't really want for much. They may, want a connection. They may want friends, but they don't need them to survive. So it's not a codependent energy. It is someone who can take care of themselves emotionally, financially, spiritually. They enjoy the fruits of their labor. It's someone who's very grounded and very solid on their own. And it kind of is like pre-Empress energy for me anyway as a reader. So when we're looking at the card with that meaning that I have attached to it, like, you know, taking care of oneself and enjoying the fruits of your labor and being grounded and being independent. And that doesn't mean independent like single. You could be single or partnered and still be the Nine of Pentacles. In fact, it's a lot healthier to be in connection when you are the Nine of Pentacles, because then you're not codependent. So we have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Wands, which is someone who knows their worth and value. It's also the second most intuitive queen in tarot. And then you have Temperance here, which talks about balance and moderation, patience, as well as healing. So I feel like there was something off balance. Don't be offended. These readings are intended to help. Off balance in a Scorpio collective where maybe you didn't have a lot of self-worth or self-value or low self-esteem, and you became involved in a situation, environment, connection, or experience that either took advantage of you, because when you don't know your worth and value, how can you expect anyone else to have your worth, know your worth and value? So maybe you were taken advantage of at work, or in a business partnership, or with a friendship, or a romantic partnership, or maybe even within like the dynamic of a family. But I just feel like whatever the Tower moment was, it was intended to get you to focus on me. Aries energy, time to take action on my own behalf, me, myself, and I. Oh, right behind that, don't let your past hold you back. And then right behind that is luck is on your side. So I do think you have something good coming, but you are definitely healing this self-worth wound. Healing this self-worth wound that, again, was caused by some kind of tower that's not even energetically coming up in the reading just yet, which I think is a good sign, because it tells me most of you are already on this path. This now enables you to create magic, to create what it is that you want. Because when our worth or value changes to ourselves, like our self-worth, our self-value, suddenly what we want is entirely different. And I'll use myself as an example. Post-separation, post-divorce, when I was leaving the marital home, I came to this house. I had very low, and I'm not saying that I came to this house because I had low self-worth or self-value, but it is an old fixer-upper. It's a Victorian home from 1860. God knows that it needs a tremendous amount of work. There's stuff that's required in this house that I do not have the money, probably will never have the amount of money it takes to actually fix it and make this like a completely functioning, operating home. The attic is gorgeous. I worked very hard with my own two hands to make that happen. But there are rooms in this house that are in complete disarray, again, because of its age and the lack of finances. But I thought, it's good enough. I had very low self-worth, self-value. It's good enough. I don't, I can't expect much type of feeling. Now that my self-worth and my self-value has improved over the course of the 6 years, I've become more of a Nine of Pentacles. I don't think I'm quite there yet, but I do think I'm well on my way to becoming more, single-free, independent in terms of being able to take care of myself without being codependent on others. Now the type of housing situation that I'm looking to manifest and co-create with the divine to have in my life is much different than the house that I'm currently in. So when your self-worth and self-value increases, if you will, you start looking around at your surroundings. You start looking around at your connections. You start looking around what you do for a living, and you're like, I deserve a better job. In fact, I know I deserve a better job. I'm good enough, right? And same thing in any of our connections. So there's something here in the Scorpio collective that as your self-worth and self-value improves, you now get to decide what you want your future to look like. Because the situations, environments, or connections that you may be tolerated or engaged with in the past are no longer going to resonate with you in the future. They either need to elevate and change, which is quite possible, right? Suddenly maybe your job sees that, you are the prize employee or you deserve that raise or promotion. Maybe the friend, family member, or lover starts seeing your value and worth. That could possibly happen too, especially when we start recognizing it within ourselves. But even if none of those scenarios happen, the fact is when we elevate, certain situations, environments, or connections kind of leave our life. And that leaves like a energetic hole, if you will, a space. If you've seen the readings before, welcome back. If you're new, howdy, howdy. But I usually look at energy, and like the best example I could give is like looking at it in terms of a closet. When we start to increase our value, our self-worth, we're taking better care of ourselves. We look at that closet of clothes and we're like, wow, that's been hanging around for 10 years. I've not put on those pair of jeans in 10 years. They're completely out of fashion. They don't fit me anymore. So when we start cleaning house, if you will, and we start getting rid of those items, we now have holes in our closet, right? We now have all of the space. so we can bring new stuff in. I feel like that's sort of where you're at right now, if this message is resonating for you. So it's like, now I have to give considerable thought. Now that I am creating energetic space for myself, because I know my value, my worth, and certain situations, environments, or connections are leaving my life, or maybe even bad habits or patterns that I have are leaving my life. What do I want to fill that closet with? So 7 of Pentacles to 9 of Cups is like, give considerable thought to what you want to bring into that closet. Again, we're just using that as an example. So 4 of Wands and the Queen of Swords. I love the Queens in tarot, and whether you're masculine or feminine, I don't read body parts. For me, especially when I'm doing this type of reading where I'm like trying to look at your energy, I often see the Queens as existing in the present. They process the present. They certainly process the past. Kings take action. I don't have any King energy yet on the table for you. But the feeling here is like, based upon my past experiences, I'm now learning. I'm learning self-worth. I'm learning self-value. I'm taking better care of myself, probably more focused on my money or long-term stability than I have been in a long time, speaking like you, not like myself. And now based upon those past experiences, and now based upon knowing my worth and value, 7 of Pentacles to 9 of Cups is, I get to create, if you will, anything I want now to put in that closet. What do I want to create? What do I want to manifest? Because what I was manifesting in the past, I don't want anymore. Maybe I was manifesting to lose 20 pounds and fit into those 10-year-old jeans. Now I've decided to donate them, or I'm going to throw them out or give them away. So now I get to manifest a new pair of jeans. Again, just using that as an analogy. What brand do I want? What cut do I want? What style do I want? That seems to be what is happening here. Creating energetic space, knowing your self-worth, self-value, and now deciding what are the 9 of Cups to me. Again, 9s are very singular. So what pleases me? And I know some tarot readers are like, well, 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment. Yes and no. Again, it depends what we're clarifying, or the scope of the reading for me anyway as a reader. So yes, is this wish fulfillment for you? It sure as damn is. As soon as you figure out what that wish fulfillment is, then you can create the magic and bring it into your life. So I feel like right now, your new moon and Gemini messages, figure out what this is so you can start co-creating with the universe to bring it in. The relationship you want, the friendship you want, the housing situation you want in that 4 of Wands, the romantic partnership you want, or healing of a partnership, like whatever this is for you, figure it out. Because now that you know your self-worth or self-value, it might be very different than what you would have like settled or accepted in the past. So yeah, 9s are very singular. And I was going to say with the 9 of Cups, what's always interesting to me, and I forgot whose reading I said it in. Maybe it was Cancer's reading. I'm not sure. But I always feel like 9 of Cups is, I have to be emotionally stable and emotionally fulfilled all on my own before I can expect someone else to come in and bring me a cup. Because my 9 cups plus their Ace of Cups would be the 10 of Cups. No one's going to bring me the 9 of Cups, and no one's going to bring me all 10 cups. I feel like that's tarot fairy tale knowledge that gets people stuck in really terrible cycles or patterns, waiting for someone to bring them emotional fulfillment. I'm really of the belief emotional fulfillment comes from us individually, because in all the tarot decks I have, and I just cleansed all of them last weekend, I forgot how many, I was counting them while I was doing them. It's either 141 or 151, something like that. In none of them does the Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, or King of Cups carry with them in that photo 9 cups or 10 cups. None of the decks that I have. And they're all around, surrounding me. They're all back there. None of them have that. They have 1 cup. And that's because we're supposed to be the 9 of Cups. Same thing with the Pentacle suit. The Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, the Queen and King of Pentacles only carry 1 pentacle. So we're supposed to be 9 of Pentacles and 9 of Cups. That's when someone comes in with that ace and brings us to the 10 of Cups, or brings us, to the 10 of Pentacles. So I think there's something really important here, Scorpio, that you've gone through that was supposed to teach you your self-worth and self-value, and how to find that stability, financial and emotional, within yourself, and to be content with that. And now that you're in the process of doing that, and you realize you are good enough and you deserve more, now something new can come in, or at least you can manifest for something new to come in. Clarify that Knight of Swords. Now you can take action. Clarify the Knight of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. Knight of Swords is clarified by Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. Bottom of the deck, 4 of Pentacles. Before you take action towards anything or anyone, I would figure out first, what is it that you're wanting? Like, let's say this is a job. The Tower moment was with a job. They didn't treat you well. They didn't pay you fairly. And maybe one day you abruptly were fired or you abruptly quit. And now you're healing. Now you're like, you know what? Looking back in hindsight, Queen of Wands to the Queen of Swords, they really undervalued me. They didn't treat me well. Well, now you get to co-create with the universe and draw in the type of job that you want. Now, co-create means you can't just hope and pray for it, right? You got to put those applications and resumes out there. So I feel like the moment you do that, it comes in. We get the message and the messenger, Page of Swords, Knight of Swords. So I think that's why it's really important for you to figure out, what is it that you want? Hangman to the Page of Pentacles. Because if you're going to just manifest in another shitty job, you know, sorry, but, you know, another crappy job, that's what you're going to get. So you would want to apply for and manifest a job that treats you better, has better terms and conditions, better benefits package, better pay. Same thing if you're a business owner. What type of clients do you want to attract? Now that you know your value and worth, maybe you need to increase your rates. And then manifest in the type of clients that would benefit from what you offer, you know, your services or your products, but also understand the value and worth that you offer them and are willing to compensate you for it. And same thing if this has to do with any other connection. We don't really have connection energy on the table, but kind of do with that 4 of Wands. If you're calling in a love partner or a friend or a circle of friends, what do you want them to be like? Because if you're just calling in what you were settling for in the past that caused that Tower moment, I don't think you're going to be happier. I don't think you're going to be happy. So I would give considerable thought between now and the new moon in Gemini, what it is that you want. I'll put a link below, pinned to the comments section. You can go to my website, thetimelinetaro.com, click on Toolbox. There's a spiritual toolbox there. The new moon rituals are free. You don't have to sign up for membership or anything like that. There are 3 new moon rituals on that page. Find the one that's most comfortable for you. Between now and June 14th, figure out exactly what it is that you want, the type of job, the type of friend, the type of lover. I wouldn't call in anything specific, like a job with ABC Corporation, or it has to be this love partner, Joe or Joanne. You know, I would just call in the characteristics that you want in that person, in that boss, in that job. Let the universe bring to you what you know you are worth, or what you know, someone who will value you or something like that. And whoever comes in, comes in. Whatever job comes in, comes in. But that's what I would do between now and like June 13th, June 14th, and then on the 14th, possibly even the 15th, because that's going to be a super new moon. So there's a lot of energy. So I would, for the like 1 or 2, 3 days, 14th, 15th, 16th, I would do the new moon ritual to call in the new. And they're fairly simple rituals. So you, like I said, you just pick the one that you feel most comfortable with. Anything else we need to know about this? And then we'll get you 3 cards of advice. So yeah, it's time to take action. Know your worth and value. Continue to work on that. Figure out really what the 9 of Cups is to you in terms of situations, environments, or connections. And then call them in. Maybe some of you need to meditate as well. Meditate, stay focused on what it is that you want, and then safe travel. Let the universe bring it to you. Right behind that was Saturn. So maybe for some of you, the lesson here, right, if we look at Saturn as like father time, for whatever time you had to deal with that, maybe the lesson there was self-worth or self-value. Maybe that was the role for that situation, environment, or connection in your life. Tell me more about this Page of Pentacles here. Not going to take it, but we should look at it. The Tower, the 6 of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles, they all came out sideways. So there is something here about figuring out what you want. So when the new offer comes in, it doesn't look like the past. It doesn't mean it can't be a past person or even your current place of employment or a past friend or a current friend. Like, I don't, I feel like there's more connection based for you, but just figure out what it is so you don't repeat a past cycle. I think that's what the important lesson here is. Do not repeat this past cycle. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I just think you're going to have the same Tower moment. So either the job, the friend, the family member, the lover, whoever was part of that, or the group, whatever, either they level up or you call in something new. And that's why I say when you manifest, don't call in someone specific. Characteristics, traits, qualities, that type of thing. That's what I would call in for a boss, friend, family member, community, maybe a realtor. Hello, me, if you want to relocate. You get to decide in that Page of Pentacles what offer will be given to you. So I would give considerable thought to this. I know as a Scorpio moon, I'm going to do that and then do my rituals. I probably will do all three of them because they're so fairly easy. So maybe do one on the 14th, one on the 15th, one on the 16th. That sounds about right. Anything else we need to know about that Page of Pentacles? And I love the Tower here because it is, it's Pluto, but it's also Uranus energy as of late for me. That's a higher octave of Mercury. Mercury rules communication, rules Gemini, and rules Virgo as well. So again, there's something here about it, what you're manifesting and co-creating with the divine. I want to use that word co-creating because you can't just hope and pray on that. You got to put in the effort. It comes into you very quickly. So be mindful of what you're manifesting because that Ace of Pentacles appears. Anything else we need to know about the Page of Pentacles? One more shuffle. Thank you. Knight of Cups, Six of Swords, and the Chariot. It comes in fast. Ace of Wands. That's the truth. By Cancer season, which is only like 2 weeks away, a week after the new moon in Gemini. So I would give considerable thought, call it in, and then watch it come in. But of course, like I said, you're going to have to co-create. I don't know anyone who says, I want a new job, and they don't apply for anything and get a new job. You know what I mean? I don't know anyone who says, I want to relocate, and they never look at a house, and someone knocks on their door and just gives them a key. Like, that's not going to happen. But you do need to put in the effort. And if you do, and you don't lower your standards, what you want comes in. Let's get you 3 cards of advice. But your biggest lesson here with whatever transpired, Ace of Pentacles, I told you it comes in. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. You get to decide what is that Ace of Pentacles and who delivers it to you. And also in this deck, the Ace of Pentacles is labeled as manifestation. So manifest what you want. Hermit, think about it. You are good enough. Virgo energy and the Star. Because now you know your self-worth. Now you've healed. 3 of Wands. And then wait for it to come in. It's time to take action. That is what I have for you, Scorpio. I forgot whose other reading I said was highly claimable. I think it was Cancer. So out of this round of readings, second highest claimable reading that I've done with Cancer being the first. But that is what I have for you. Figure out that Ace of Pentacles, start co-creating it, and watch it come in, or at least watch some news be delivered to you that it is coming in, or the offer opportunity is coming in. And then Hangman, you get to decide if you want it or not. You know, we always have choice. We always have free will. But call it in and see what or who comes in. That's what I have for you. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video on your mobile device if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out your other placements. They should all be out by Friday. Until I read for you again, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace.